In 1972, a theme park would open in Mason, Ohio that would change the roller coaster landscape forever. That park was called Kings Island. When the park first opened in 1972, it became an immediate smash hit, thanks due in part to the marketing of its signature ride, the Racer. The Racer was marketed as the tallest and fastest coaster in the world, and it caused many people to go to the park in droves because of this. This started what's known as the Coaster Wars, which was an era that lasted from 1972 to the late 2000s that saw many parks try to aim to make the biggest, fastest coaster in the world, which is one of many reasons for why this park is amazing. But the reason why I want to talk today is because of something that caught my eye recently. But before I get into this, if you like this kind of content, then go click that like button down below and hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's do this. The reason why I'm making this video is because I recently looked up the Golden Ticket Awards, which is essentially just the Oscars but for theme parks and roller coasters alike, and I noticed that Kings Island ranked 5th place in best parks of all time. Now, this may not seem like a huge deal, but looking back in 1998 when the awards first started, as you can see, Cedar Point is the biggest park, and it was like that for 15 years. And as you can see, Kings Island was not listed in any of the best parks. But then in 2014, Europa Park managed to beat out Cedar Point by a pretty huge sweep, I'll say that, like all of a sudden. But again, even throughout all the years that Europa Park was on there, Kings Island is still not on there. And then Cedar Point got off entirely in 2022. But in 2023, Dollywood won Best Park, and Kings Island suddenly went to the number 5th place for Best Theme Park. So the reason why I'm making this video is basically to touch on this sudden newfound appraisal for Kings Island. I mean, the park was already in such high praise, but now the park seems to be in more praise than it already was, even after getting rid of 2 of its most iconic coasters, Firehawk and Vortex. But even without those 2 roller coasters, the roller coaster collection at Kings Island is still probably one of the best in the country, if not the whole world. It has a world-class hypercoaster, which is Diamondback, a world-class Giga Coaster, which is Orion, and 2 incredible wooden roller coasters, which are Mystic Timbers and the Beast. And some of these coasters are not just amazing, but historical. The Beast is still the longest wooden coaster in the world even after its opening in 1979. Flight of Fear was the first ever LSM launch coaster when it opened back in 1996, and Mystic Timbers won the Best New Ride of 2017 at the Golden Ticket Awards. And speaking of the Golden Ticket Awards, the kids area of the park has won the award for Best Kids Area for 18 consecutive years until Dollywood won in 2019. But I honestly think that Kings Island saw this and want to get the award back as they completely rethemed the area for the 2024 season and added a brand new roller coaster called Snoopy's Soapbox Racers. And that's another thing that Kings Island is going for: theming. Its most recent rides have taken a more thematic approach, with one of its most recent coasters, Orion, having a sci-fi theme and adding to the theming to its other coaster in that area, Flight of Fear. The park going for a new thematic quality, I think, has really raised the park to new levels, because it recently has had another new area come to it called Adventure Porch, which houses Adventure Express and 2 other really cool rides. So Kings Island is really going all in on new theming for the park. And this adds a new special charm for the park that I think many people are seeing now, and they are putting the park in the category of greatest park of all time because of it. And it is also sudden as well. Everything seems to have fallen into the perfect place for this already really amazing park to have such recognition as one of the best parks on the planet. Amusement parks nowadays are more focused on the guest. Instead of trying to build the biggest, fastest coaster in the world, they're going for a more guest-friendly experience. They're trying to aim for an experience that the guests will never forget. And Kings Island is truly an unforgettable experience nowadays. With amazing theming, amazing roller coasters, and an amazing history, Kings Island surely does belong in the greatest parks of all time category.